with the start of the war in Ukraine, we have a complete new legal situation in Germany and in Europe for refugees. Never before there was this law that is the law of mass influx. So that means that a very big group of people is fleeing from one country to Europe. So this was very soon after the war started. The European Union started this procedure for this new law that was existing since, I think, 20 years, but it was never used. So this, since end of February, we have this new situation. And of course, this means that there are many questions that are not resolved up to now. There are many juridical questions that are not very clear. And especially, it's not very clear the situation of the third country citizens who were living in Ukraine. So this will be the main point that we speak about today. This EU regulation says that generally it is possible that people with a citizenship of a third country, that means that who have not the Ukrainian citizenship, can get the possibility to get this humanitarian staying permission in Europe. In Germany, it is a staying permission of paragraph 24 of the Foreign Law Aufenthaltsgesetz. So not only the Ukrainian citizen, but also citizens from other countries who have a residence permit in Ukraine have the possibility and the right to apply for this humanitarian residence permit in Germany. But it is not very clear who of the third country citizens have the right to finally get this humanitarian residence permit of paragraph 24. Now, in the last weeks, it was getting a little bit more clear. So the Ministry of Interior in Germany said that the third country citizens from Ukraine who were possessing unlimited residence permit in Ukraine, they generally have the possibility to get this humanitarian staying permission here in Germany. For people who just have a limited residence permit in Ukraine, for example, students or people who just had a residence permit to work, or I heard of someone who had a staying permission as a football player. For these people, it is quite difficult to get this humanitarian residence permit of paragraph 24. The regulation of the EU and also in Germany says these people can get the humanitarian residence permit if they don't have a possibility to return in their home countries in a safe and permanent way. And it's not very clear what does this mean. It could mean, and for example, for the people with a permanent residence permit, it was said because these people have a more close relation to Ukraine. They will have a permanent residence permit in Ukraine. Germany says these people can't return in a safe way to their home countries because they already had a permanent situation in Ukraine. So this group gets this humanitarian stay-in condition. On the other side, they say if people come from a country where is also a situation like a civil war, that is very close, at least very close to a civil war, they say these people can't return in a safe way to their home country. And it is, this is clear, or it's written down that this group is for people from Afghanistan, people from Syria, and people from Eritrea. So these three countries, if someone comes from one of these countries, it's clear these people can't return in a safe way to their country. For all the others, for the other third citizen, and especially for, this means especially also for Nigerian citizens, there has to be always an individual checkup whether there are individual reasons why someone can't return to their home country. This could be health reasons. If someone needs a medical treatment and in Nigeria it's not possible to get this treatment. This might be the main reason to say it's not possible to return in a safe way. It could be also if the individual situation is so dangerous, if someone returns, that it's not possible to return. On the other side, there might be a big field or other reasons that belong to reasons that are normally verified and proved in an asylum procedure. So that means if someone says, I can't return to my home country, I cannot return to Nigeria because I have political problems there, because I'm belonging to the opposition, and if I return to Nigeria, I might get political problems. This is not a reason to be respected in this procedure of paragraph 24. If you go to the Ausländerbehörde and say, I have political problems in my home country, they will say, okay, if you have these problems, you must start an asylum procedure. So these people are sent to the asylum procedure, and they have to go to in Germany to this Bundesamt für Migration und Flüchtlinge, that is the authority that is working for the asylum procedure. That means that this quite big group of people, now here you people from Nigeria who have a limited residence permit in Ukraine and came here to Germany because of the war in Ukraine, this regulation of paragraph 24 is not a very good solution. Yes, I think I pointed out that only very few of this group have the chance to get this paragraph 24. So we have to discuss what kind of other residence permit is possible. But before, I will explain the possibilities that gives this regulation of paragraph 24, even for if it's clear finally you can't get it. Germany decided very soon that everybody who was living in Ukraine, Ukrainian citizen and also third country citizen with a residence permit in Ukraine, can come to Germany without a visa. So everybody can come legally to Germany. And Germany decided that everybody who came from Ukraine to Germany stays legally until the 31st of August. So everybody who came from Ukraine has a legal status, even if he never contact any police, any Ausländerbehörde, foreign office. That is the first general situation. And if someone goes to the Ausländerbehörde, to the foreign police, and says, I want to apply for the residence permit of paragraph 24, the Ausländerbehörde has to start a procedure and make a written decision. And during this procedure, everybody who asks for this residence permit has a right to get so-called Fiktionsbescheinigung. This is a paper that says you are in a legal status, you are registered in Germany, you are in a legal status, and we are verifying whether you have the right to stay in Germany. And if you have this kind of Fiktionsbescheinigung, you have the right to get social help, you have the right to get insurance, and if you don't have accommodation, you have the right to get public accommodation. So this is also for people like you a chance at least to get some help. What is the help? Until the state, the authority will decide on this application for paragraph 24. In some, Germany is divided in so-called Bundesländer, and the decisions, the concrete decisions in the questions who can get a residence permit is in the responsibility of this Bundesländer, the countries in Germany. So some countries, for example, in Hamburg, they made a regulation that say students in Ukraine who came to Germany and who can prove that they were studying in Ukraine and they apply for this paragraph 24, they get for 6 months the Fiktionsbescheinigung, even if it's clear or even if they finally don't have the chance to get this paragraph 24. But we want to give them the chance in the 6 months to find another way to get a residence permit in Germany. Yeah, and I think also, for example, in Schleswig-Holstein, the authorities there, they are working to make a similar regulation. And I think it's advisable for everybody who was studying in Ukraine and came here to apply for this kind of residence permit paragraph 24, but write down in the application, I apply for paragraph 24, but I'm planning to study in Germany, and as soon as I have the documents to study here, I want to apply for a residence permit to study. This could be a way just in the meantime to be registered and to get legal social money and insurance, because as I said before, everybody has a right to stay here until 31st of August, but in this time, if he is not contacting the authorities, he will not get public help, and this person has to, yes, needs help from other people, and the situation is not so comfortable. Okay, so there is a way. The one way is just to stay here until 31st of August, or to make this application for paragraph 24 and get this Fiktionsbescheinigung. So this is the situation, the actual situation, I think, of most of the people who are not Ukrainian citizens and who have a limited residence permit in Ukraine. So now it's important, what kind of other possibilities are existing to get a residence permit in Germany? As I just mentioned, of course, there is the possibility to ask for a residence permit as a student. Condition for this is first that you are accepted at a university. Many universities are willing to accept students from Ukraine. So there could be a quite good chance to find a place where you can study. One problem is, of course, the question of language. In Germany, most of the course at the university are in German, and normally you need at least the level B2 or C1 to be accepted at the university. But there are also some courses in English, especially master courses are offered also in English. And it's advisable to look at many universities to find a course where one could continue to study. And the second condition is that you have enough money for your livings, so that you don't need public money during your studies. In Germany, that means that you need at least, I think it's 10,500 euro a year. If you have this amount on your bank account, the Ausländerbehörde will say it's okay, it's enough. Or you have a job so that you can earn your living by working, or you have somebody who gives a guarantee, who guarantees for your living. So these are the conditions for the possibility to get a residence permit at the university to study. The German law also gives the possibility to ask for a residence permit if you make a preparation course to study. So if you visit a German course and you can prove that you are preparing to study at the university. For example, that the university says, yes, if you prove that you have the level B2, we will accept you at the university, and now you are in this German course. Even for this preparation to the university, you can get a residence permit. Now, the problem is also that you have to prove that you have enough income. And normally, if you get this residence permit for the preparation to study, you don't get the permission to work. So you need another way to prove that you have enough money. If you already finished your studies in Nigeria or in Ukraine, or if you have experience because you already made a training program for a special job, and you are, so in German it's called qualified for a job, then you have also the possibility to ask for a residence permit as a worker. So if you have a result, a diploma, or a bachelor or master from the university, it's very easy that this is recognized here in Germany as a qualification. But also if you finish a training program or a school for learning for a job, this could be recognized in Germany as a qualification. And if you have this qualification, recognized qualification, and you find a job in this in your qualification, you have the right to get a residence permit to work in this job. This could be also a chance for you if you can prove that you have this kind of qualification. If another possibility is that to make in Germany professional training. This is something that is, I think, only existing in Germany. It's called, in German, it's called Berufsausbildung. That means it's a very special way to be trained for a job. You are working part-time in a firm, in a fabric or a company, and at the same time you visit a school. This is called Berufsausbildung, professional training. And if you start this kind of training, you also have the possibility to apply for a residence permit for this training. During this kind of training, normally you will get a salary. This is not a very high salary, but it could help you to prove that you have enough income. So probably you might get a salary of 600, 700 euro, and the Ausländerbehörde says, okay, if you can prove that you have in total 1,000 euro, it's enough, and we can give you the permission. So you just need extra 400 euro, for example, and then you can start this training program. Because you visit a school, in the same time, of course, you need German knowledge. Normally, it's a level B1 is enough to attend the school and to be able to follow the school. So this could be another possibility to get a residence permit in Germany. Now, and as I told you before, at least until the 31st of August, you have time to look for a place at the university or a course for preparation the university or this kind of Ausbildung, Berufsausbildung, professional training. These are the, then, okay, there are another possibility that you can try at least to get for some time a residence permit is, it's called Freiwilliges Soziales Jahr. This is a voluntary social year, is the English translation, and this is also formed by a regulation of the European Union that says that young people have, or not even young people, even also older people can work in a social institution voluntarily. You just get some pocket money and you get a residence permit for this year to make this social work. So this could be, for example, also the chance to get a residence permit at least for 1 year and use this time to learn German, and after this 1 year, perhaps to start at the university and study at the university, and then change the residence permit to a residence permit as a student. These are the possibilities that where the law says that you have the right to apply for this kind of residence permit. There's also some people were thinking, what is possible? What can we try? But this is an idea of what could be possible. For example, many universities in Ukraine, they continue to work online. So it's possible for you as a student from Ukraine to continue your studies in Ukraine from here online. And you can perhaps to get some support from the university, make an inscription at the university as a guest. So this is a form of inscription called in German, it's Gasthörer. And so you are at the university, but you are not officially, you have not an officially inscription. But you have the possibility to use the library and contact professors, so you might get some help during your studies. And you continue to study online in the Ukraine. So this could be, this situation, for example, could be an argument to say, I have no possibility to return in my home country in a safe way. Because this possibility to study online with the help as a guest inscription at the German university, you don't have in your home country. In Nigeria, probably you don't have this chance, and you will not succeed by studying online from Nigeria. So this could be a reason to say, I need this paragraph 24 because I'm in a very special situation. And the German law also says, if you have a special humanitarian reason to stay for a limited time in Germany, this could be allowed. And also, if the Ausländerbehörde, if the foreign police says, no, we don't give you paragraph 24, you can apply for this kind of other humanitarian residence permit, that is paragraph 25, absatz 4. So this could be also the possibility to find a way to stay in Germany. As I said, this is not a way that is already proved that it's working. It's an idea of people who think, how can we resolve the situation? And if you want to try to go this way, I think you need legal help. You should contact a lawyer or a legal advice from some organization. So I think this is generally the possibilities that you have here in Germany, and I see there are already about 30 questions, and I think we can perhaps now answer this kind of questions.
Yes, sir. First off, I want to say thank you very much for the brilliant presentation, sir. And yes, there are lots of questions already. A lot of people have questions, and I kind of noted everything down. So now I'll be asking you these questions one after the other, and you can answer these questions. I think I'm going to start from the very last question here. Not everybody knows what paragraph 25 is. So if you could please explain to us what paragraph 25 is.
Yeah, okay, first of all, it's paragraph 24. Yes. Okay. Now, this is the paragraph 24 is the German law that says if the European Union decides that there is a mass influx of people to Europe, and the European Union decides that they get the chance to stay here for some years, these people get this residence permit from paragraph 24. So this is a regulation that is always related to a decision of the European Union. So if there's no decision from the European Union, paragraph 24 is nothing. It's not existing. Yes, and this was for 20 years the situation, that there was a paragraph 24, but it was never used. Now, the first time the European Union said, we have a situation of mass influx, so now every European country has to start this procedure and to give this kind of humanitarian residence permit for the people, especially in first line. It's a Ukrainian citizen who come to Europe.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. I'll just move on to the next question, but I think you already touched on this before, but let me ask. I guess this person is trying to know if they get a full-time job and they are not granted a permit based on paragraph 24, what kind of residence permit would they have?
Okay. In Germany, there is no general possibility to get a residence permit just to work. before, I think 2 or 3 years ago, it was nearly impossible to get a residence permit to work. Then there was it's a law called Fachkräftezuwanderungsgesetz. That means that qualified workers have the right to come to Germany and to work. But it's necessary that you have a qualification. So you need a diploma from university, or you need another proof that you have a professional qualification. And if you find a job in your professional qualification, you can get the residence permit. There are some other conditions. Your job has to be, the conditions of your job has to be like for German people. So it's a regulation that says foreigners have to get the same salary and the same holiday and so on, like other people. So there's no discrimination. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. This person says they want to know if they get admission into the German university, how can they get a resident permit to carry on with their study? But I believe you already mentioned this as well in your presentation.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to say one thing about that, or I should just move to the next question?
There was just a question about the university, no?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
So
the main conditions is you need the inscription from the university, or at least normally if you apply or if you start the inscription procedure, you get an answer from the university saying you fulfill generally the conditions to study. This normally is enough to start the procedure to get the residence permit. Yeah. Later you have to show your inscription also, but you can start it already with the first letter from the university saying that you have all the conditions for the university. So you have to prove that you that you made this in German called Abitur, so that you are allowed to study. And you have to prove that you have the German knowledge if you want to study in German. And then the university will say, okay, it's okay. And this is from the university, the condition. And the Ausländerbehörde wants to see that you have enough income so that you can prove you have savings on your bank account, or you have someone who signs the guarantee declaration. And then these are the conditions to get the residence permit as a student.
Thank you so much, sir. So going forward, somebody wants to make an inquiry about people who are already in Nigeria. So this person wants to know, this person owns a Ukraine permanent residency, and the person was in Ukraine until February 2022 before the war started. How can they fly to Germany from Nigeria?
Yes, I know the Nigeria and also other countries, they help people to come to their home countries. Yes, so they send airplanes, and so there was evacuation of the citizens of Nigeria also to Nigeria. But if you already left Nigeria to another country, and it's your home country, Nigeria, you can't, you don't get the possibilities of this regulation of paragraph 24. So you can't enter in Germany without a visa.
Yeah.
Because the right to enter in Germany without a visa is only if you come directly from Ukraine. So the only idea could be these people go back to Ukraine, and then they take the way from Ukraine via Poland to Germany. Yeah. And they don't mention that they have been meanwhile in Nigeria, because if the authorities here will see, oh, you have been already safe in Nigeria, they will say, no, no, we don't accept you here. Yeah. But
Okay.
for the people who are now in Nigeria, they just have the normal, like everybody else, the possibilities, and that means to. If you want to come to a European country or to Germany, you have to apply for a visa. And of course, as I said, you can apply for a visa as a student, you can apply for a visa as a for this professional training, you can apply for this freiwilliges soziale Jahr, voluntary social year. You can apply to work if you already have a qualification. No. But
yes,
it's necessary to make this visa procedure from Nigeria.
Thank you, Sal. Another person wants to know how long is the Fiktionsbescheinigung valid for?
This Fiktionsbescheinigung, that depends of where you are. For example, I said in Hamburg there's a very good regulation, and I'm astonished because Hamburg normally is not the most progressive country in Germany. Yeah, but Hamburg said, okay, if you are a student in Ukraine and you come to us and say, I want to study in Germany, I want to continue my studies, you get this Fiktionsbescheinigung for 6 months. And this, I think nearly all of the students in Hamburg, they got this already in their hands, because this is working very quickly also. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know for how long you will get it in other places of Germany. For example, I know in Berlin, the Ausländerbehörde is working very, very slowly. So you apply online for this paragraph 24, and you just get online an answer, and I don't know how long you have this paper in your hands. I think that in Berlin it will take a very long time until there will be a final decision about the application. So you might also have 6 months time to find the possibility to get a resident permit here.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Someone wants to know if they are allowed to work with Fiktionsbescheinigung.
Yes, if you get the Fiktionsbescheinigung, you are allowed to work. There's no limitation of the work. And as I said, you have the right to get social money. The social money there will be a change from the 1st of June. Now it is Sozialamt that gives the money, because there's special law for asylum seeker, and up to now, people who apply for this paragraph 24 are in the question of the social money, they are treated like asylum seekers. They are not asylum seekers, but they get the same money as asylum seekers.
Okay.
But this is changed. There's now the German government just is preparing a new law that will come in practice at the end of May, that from 1st of June, the money, you will get the money from the job center. So there's a change. This money from the job center is a little bit more than from the Sozialamt. And the job center also has the job to help you to work. So you will get also assistance, for example, to get German course, to get training programs, and to be in better condition to find a job.
Thank you so much, sir. Someone asks, I was a student in Ukraine and I have a little baby. that I gave birth to in Ukraine in January 2022. Do I get the same treatment given to Ukrainians because of my baby? If yes, what benefits will I get as a family member of a Ukrainian national?
Okay, so the baby is Ukrainian national.
Yes.
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 Okay, so there are two ways to get this residence permit of paragraph 24. So as a family member of a Ukrainian citizen, you can get directly paragraph 24. So the baby, you have to prove that your baby has a Ukrainian citizenship, and then you will also get the residence permit, paragraph 24. And there's another reasons, because you are a mother of a Ukrainian citizen, of a small baby, you can't return in a safe and permanent way to your home country. So you also have your own reason to get this paragraph 24. So it's one is family reunion, and the other is your own reason that because you have a baby, you can't go to Nigeria. So your chance to get this paragraph 24 is it's
high.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Someone wants to know, I would like to know what to do for us who are in camps, who have difficulty in being transferred. The situation is a little difficult for us because we are always considered second by our nationality. We have been in a camp for more than 2 months without them telling us anything, but making transfer for Ukrainians from origin who came after us. It's already been 2 months and we are in despair. Help.
Yeah. Okay. So at the beginning, in the first weeks after the war, there was no regulation of transfer in Germany. And then, but many people came first to Berlin, and Berlin said, we are not able to handle this, all these people. So there was then installed a regulation of transfer, and there's a, for every country in Germany, there's a special amount, how many people they have to take in relation of their own inhabitants and their possibilities. So many people who first came to Berlin have got a transfer to another country in Germany. And if you come to a city like Hamburg or Berlin or Bremen, it's very easy because there you can move free and you have a chance to get contact to university. But if you come in a country that is more landscape, like Niedersachsen or in the east of Germany, they have camps, and these camps are in places very far away from big cities. So you are quite isolated. And the fact is that for the Ukrainian citizens who get very quickly their residence permit, and with the residence permit they get the allowance to look for a flat and to change, to work, and to be in a social better situation, so they don't need to stay in the camp. But as long as you don't have any clear regulation about your residence, you will have to stay in the camp now, and it's not fair. Meanwhile, there are many people saying it's a problem to handle Ukrainian citizens in one way and other people from other countries in similar conditions in another way. It's not only the people like Nigerians coming from Ukraine who are treated in a worse way, but even other refugees from all over the world who have suffered similar situations like the Ukrainians, they are in very bad conditions here. So, but this is, it's a political question, yes? And I think it's sensible to put this on the table and to discuss it and to always to say, this is not fair. It's like Germany treats the Ukrainian, it should be the normal way to treat refugees. And this is an example, and it's a good example how Germany and Europe can treat refugees. But it's necessary to treat everybody like this. No?
Thank you so much, sir. Another question. Hi, Mr. Stern. Would you advise to apply for paragraph 24, even though I want to continue my studies here? I am afraid that my application under paragraph 24 will be declined and I can't apply for a student residence anymore. What would you advise, sir?
Yeah. I think you should get a local advice where you are now, because in every part of Germany, the treatment is a little bit different. As I said, in Hamburg, it's very sensible, and you will get immediately if you apply for the residence permit as paragraph 24, you will get this Fiktionsbescheinigung for 6 months, and you have the chance during the 6 months to prepare your future studies in Germany. I think that in other parts of Germany, this is also possible. So if you apply for paragraph 24 and you say, I apply for paragraph 24 now to get this Fiktionsbescheinigung, but I will try also to continue my studies in Germany. And if I succeed, I want to ask for a residence permit as a student. Then normally they should give you this Fiktionsbescheinigung, and then you prepare your future study in Germany. Yeah, but you should perhaps ask a local organization who gives legal advice for foreigners. How is the situation in my place, in my city, in my country?
Thank you so much, sir. Another question. Please, can I use my temporary residence permit to apply for a study visa in another country?
Yeah, here in Germany to study?
No, not in Germany, in another country. So this person wants to apply for a study visa in another country.
That's a good question. This European Union regulation of this, what is in Germany, the paragraph 24. There are in other countries similar laws. I think in most of the other countries, it is possible to apply to get a residence permit as a student directly. Like here in Germany, you don't need to make a visa procedure, what is normally necessary. You can apply for this residence permit directly without a visa procedure. And I think in most of the other European countries, this will be also possible. So, especially for you as Nigerian who speak English, it is probably easier to study in Netherlands or France, where are much more courses at the university in English. So you might have the better chance to study in another country. This regulation of the European Union says normally if you applied in one country for the residence permit, you have to stay in this country. And there is a complicated procedure if you want to change to another European country. But the European Union or the European countries, they said because the people come from the east, first they come to Poland. So if it was a regulation that if you come to Poland, you can't move to another country, Poland will collapse because there are millions coming. So they said, it's no problem if the people come from Poland to Germany and from Germany to France or Netherlands or to another European country. So if you continue to go to another country, finally the next country will accept it, and they will not send you back to Germany and say, but before you have been in Germany, now we send you back. Yes. So it is possible if you, for example, now have contact with the university in Paris, and you say, oh, that is what I want to do, and they accept me. You just go there directly and say, and there you say, well, I come from Ukraine, I'm a refugee from Ukraine. I transferred in Germany, but I want to stay in France, and then they will give you the possibility to stay there and to study there.
Thank you so much, sir. Another question would be, there are lots of questions like this, so I'm just going to ask in one question. A lot of people want to know what they can do if they've been asked to already go home. Is there anything they can do in the next days, weeks, or months?
If they,
I'm sorry, they already told them to go back home, to go back to their home country. Is there anything they can do?
The situation is that very often the Ausländerbehörde says to the people from third countries, you don't have any right here, you have to leave. So, but they just say it. They, as long as you don't have a written decision where it's written that you have to leave the country, you don't have to leave. And it is the law says that you have the right to stay here until the 31st of August. Even if the Ausländerbehörde now sends a letter, you have to leave. This is not correct. They have, if they say you don't have the right to get a residence permit here, they have to say, okay, you have the right to stay until the 31st of August, but you have to leave at least on the 31st of August. That is what they can say. If you get a letter where it's written that you have to leave before the 31st of August, you should make an appeal against it so that this decision does not become final. Yes? And probably it's sensible to have the help of a lawyer for that, or so at least some legal advice from some institutions. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but because all this regulations is new also for the Ausländerbehörde, they make very often they make it in the wrong way, and they try to resolve the situation by making pressure and saying you have no right here, you have to leave, and so hoping that the people give up and say, okay, I have no choice, so I go to my home country, or I go to another country, European country. For example, what I read, I don't have a proof, but I read that in Portugal, the law is a little bit different. So Portugal says everybody from Ukraine, even people who just had a limited residence permit in Ukraine, get a residence permit in Portugal. So this could be also a possibility. You should perhaps contact organizations in Portugal whether this really works. Then at least in Portugal you could get the residence permit to stay there. No.
Thank you so much, sir. I think this might be an interesting question. Someone says, if I am willing to do an Ausbildung and the company wants to give me the job, but the Ausbilder wants to see an official statement or an official status before they give me the job, what should I do?
Yeah, okay. This is a kind of gap because the Ausländerbehörde, the police, they say the law says only if you have a contract of your training, we can give you the residence permit. And the company says, I give you the contract only if you have the residence.
Yeah.
So what you can do in this situation is that you ask the Ausländerbehörde to write a letter to say, if Mr. or Mrs. Sowieso presents a Ausbildungsvertrag, a contract of training, he or she will get the resident permit. Yes, normally the Ausländerbehörde is willing to give this kind of paper. Sometimes it's already enough if a lawyer writes a letter saying that the law says if you have a contract of training, the Ausländerbehörde has to give this residence permit, so that then the company knows, okay, if we start this training, this person will stay in Germany and we can finish finally the training.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So this person wants to know if they have a family here, like an uncle, can I get a permit to stay with my uncle, you know?
No. In Germany, there's a right of family reunion, but this right is for the nucleus family. It's in Germany, it's Kernfamilie, and this means that are parents and children under 18. That is the family that has this kind of family has the right to stay together. And in this situation, you always have the right that the family members have to stay together, for example, in Germany. But to stay with other relatives, it's only in very exceptional situations possible. For example, if you or your uncle is sick and needs your personal help, this could be a kind of this exceptional situation. Yeah. Then if it's like a situation like that, then you can apply for a visa for family reunion. This is paragraph 36 of the law, but it's saying you need exceptional reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. A similar question. Someone arrived at a Ukrainian student arrived in Germany in a camp 2 months ago, but this person has not been transferred. The person says, I have a brother here in Germany, and I would like to know if it could benefit me if I get transferred to my brother's house.
Yes, of course. That in a situation like this, normally the best is always first to go to your brother or to your uncle or to anybody that you know where you can stay. Because if you have a place where you can live, and then you go to register yourself, you will stay at this place.
Mm.
You know? If you are already registered and you are in a camp, and then you get the contact to your brother, and your brother says, okay, why didn't you contact me before? You can come here, I have enough place, you can live with me. Then you have to start an official procedure for the transfer. And you have to prove that your brother has enough space for you in the flat, that his landlord is agreeing that you come and live with him. And you have to prove that your brother is able to support you so that you don't need social money at the place. You know? Then you can get the transfer to this place. You know? But it's you have to start the official procedure because you already are registered and you have some paper, a legal paper that says that you have to stay in this place where you are now.
Okay, thank you very much.
That means, for example, if you just leave your camp and you go to your brother, and there you contact the Ausländerbehörde or you ask for social help or something, they will always send you back to your place. They will say, no, we are not responsible for you here. You have to ask for everything first in the place where you have been in the camp.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Another question. I have 2 years permit back in Ukraine since 2021 to 2023, and it is on a work permit basis with all the documents and insurance from the company. What do I need to do to get a work permit in Germany? So basically like transferring the kind of permit this person has from Ukraine to Germany.
Yeah. Okay, the question is, what kind of work was it, what you did in Ukraine? If it was a qualified job, that means if you were working in a job where normally in Germany you need a qualification. That means you have to make this professional training, or you have to study to work in this job. Then you can try to that your knowledge of your work in Ukraine is accepted here in Germany as a qualification. If you get this qualification recognized here in Germany, you can look for a job in this qualification and then ask for a residence permit. Yeah, that is quite complicated. So I'm a little bit anxious that it will not work because probably your job in Ukraine was not a qualified job. It was a normal job which everybody could do without a special qualification. And then it's not possible to change to work here in Germany.
Thank you, sir. This person is a student from Ukraine, and while they were doing their registration with the foreign authorities, they made a mistake and they applied for asylum instead. And they have been denied asylum, and they have been told that they have to leave in June. What can they do to appeal since they have the right to stay until August?
the problem is, if you ask for political asylum, your legal rights, you will lose the legal rights that you have. Yeah. So I know that the Ausländerbehörde, the foreign authorities, they always say, no, you don't have any right here, you have to apply for political asylum. And then you make an application for political asylum, and then you will ask, what is your problem? And you say, yeah, the war in Ukraine. And then the authorities say, yeah, but you don't have problems in Nigeria, so you can go back to Nigeria. So the asylum procedure is really not helping. So, but the law says, if you ask for political asylum, you this right to stay here until 31st of August, you will lose it. So if they now made a decision, you have to leave. Normally they say in 30 days, you have the possibility to apply against this decision of the Bundesamt. You have 2 weeks time normally to make an application against at the Verwaltungsgericht, the administration court. And during the procedure at the administration court, you have the right to stay. So normally the procedure at the court takes, in Hamburg, it's 1 to 2 years. In other places, perhaps it's 6 months, but at least you have another chance to stay here. But finally, this will not help you very much, because if you are in the asylum procedure, you don't have the chance to change to staying permission as a student, for example, or to change to staying permission to work. Yeah, from if you have this, if your legal situation is as an asylum seeker, there's the law says there's nearly no chance to change to another residence permit. So this is a problem for the people who made this asylum application.
Let me quickly mention that this is an info session organized by HAUG Initiative, Help for Africans from Ukraine in Germany. This initiative is a coalition of associations and individuals in the German African community supporting people who fled the war in Ukraine and are currently seeking refuge in Germany. This initiative started or was birthed from an all-Nigerian community meeting on the 15th of March, 2022, convened by the Nigerians in Diaspora Organization Germany, NIDO, at which measures to support Nigerians from Ukraine were discussed in this particular meeting. Yes, this is the info session. We started 6 p.m. and it is majorly focused on providing legal advice for Africans and third country nationals from Ukraine who are interested in obtaining regular residency status in Germany. Of course, we want to use this opportunity to thank all our supporters and all our partners across Germany, which includes Pamoja Africa in Cologne, Nigerian community in Bayern, and so many others. And of course, the scope of this initiative is jointly run by the Horizon Resource Network and the NIDO Germany. And also we have the president of the NIDO, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization Germany, with us here, Mr. Awoni. And we're happy to have you here, sir. So yes, I'll just continue by asking you this two-in-one question that I wanted to ask you before. So some people want to know about the 10,000 euro thing, blocked account thing in Hamburg. And this person wants to know if they can save the 10,000 euros in another currency instead of euros. And they also want to know if it is true that if they get a job that pays at least 830 euros, it is enough to substitute or in exchange for the 10,000 euros.
Yes. So this money, 10,000 euro, it is the money that a student needs for 1 year. So the authorities, they want that you have it in euro so that you can use it to live here. If you have it in dollars or another currency, you might not have the, you can't get the money perhaps immediately when you need it. So normally, I'm quite sure that you need the money in euro on your bank account. I've never, I don't know any case where this was a problem. So if you say, I want to try, I have perhaps $15,000 on my bank account, probably the Ausländerbehörde will say, okay, we accept it. It's not written in the law, no? This amount of 10,500 euro, it comes from in Germany called BAföG. BAföG is the law for students, especially German students and European students, who get public help if they don't have enough income or if the parents don't have a high income. So this BAföG is a kind of stipendium that is given to the students, and the highest amount is 830 euro a month. So this is what the law says is necessary for a student from a third country. If a student has in the month 830 euros, this is enough. A student can live with this money. And it's not depending how much you have to pay for your flat and how much you pay for transport and other things. It's just a general amount. So if you have 830 euro in the month and you earn this money, it's enough as a student.
Thank you so much, sir, for clarifying that.
I have to another question that was asked before for the people who asked for political asylum. I said, with the application for political asylum, you lose the right to stay until the 31st of August. That was not correct. I had to look in the law. There's no regulation that says that you lose this right. So if you get a negative decision in your asylum procedure, and in this decision is written you have to leave in 30 days, this is, in my eyes, it's not correct. And if you make an application against it, at least you will win this application for this decision that you have to leave in 30 days, because this is wrong. They have to say you have to leave until the 31st of August. Yeah, so it's sensible to make an application against this decision of the Bundesamt in your asylum procedure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. And please, if you would like to ask your questions directly, because we do not have so much time anymore, and I would like to unmute a few persons to ask their questions directly, please just raise your hand and I will just allow you to speak in the, I'll just allow you to speak. And before then, please note that questions about if you want to go to school and your school wants a particular status fictions thing from you, Mr. Stern already says that you can go to the Ausländerbehörde and get a letter and then show to your school or to your employer that when you get the admission, you can get a status and all of this. Please try not to ask questions that we have already dealt with so that everybody can get to speak and get answers to their questions as well. Thank you very much. So, Mike, I just allowed you, I'm giving you permission now to speak.
Okay. Hello.
Yes.
Are you hearing me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was a student in Ukraine, and my residence permit had expired, and I applied for a new one, which I was supposed to get on March 7th, and the war started, and I left Ukraine, and got to Germany March 28th. Sorry, February 28th. That was before I could get the resident permit. So when I got here, I'm presently in Lübeck. When I got here, I had my student ID card, my university contract, and every other document to prove that I was a student in Ukraine. But the Auslander officer that was attached to my case still says that I have to show my residence permit, which I told him that it has expired and I only applied for a new one. So I was given a duldung for 5 months. And in the duldung, it was written that if I want to work or school, that the foreign affairs have to approve it first. So right now, I don't know what to do with the duldung.
Okay. Perhaps it is possible that you get from Ukraine a proof that you apply to renew your residence permit. Or perhaps it is possible that the Ukrainian Ausländer authorities, they send you the residence permit that you should get 8th of March. Yeah.
Yeah, they said I should write a letter to the Ukrainian embassy, which I did. And right now the embassy is not working. So before then, because it was actually the resident permit was supposed to come earlier than 7th March. So there was a little delay, which there in Ukraine, I had to involve a lawyer. So I have all the evidence that I got from my lawyer that I was legal in Ukraine.
Yes.
So.
Okay, but did you present this proofs already to the Ausländerbehörde here in Germany?
The first day I went to the Ausländer, I did not, but later on I sent them a mail with every other proof. That's the documents from the lawyer, my expired residence permit, but they have my student ID card and my passport. So I sent them every other proof in an email, and plus the email I sent to the Ukrainian embassy too. I sent it to them, but still nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Normally, if you can prove that your residence permit in Ukraine will be renewed, then you have the right to stay here until the 31st of August. So there's no reason to give you a Duldung, because the Duldung is only for people who have to leave Germany, where it's already clear, decided that you have to leave Germany. So to give you a Duldung is, in my eyes, wrong. Perhaps you need legal help to act against Ausländerbehörde, so that they have to give you Fiktionsbescheinigung, because you can prove that you had a legal residence permit in Ukraine. Yeah. For example, what is in Germany, if you apply to renew your residence permit, of course, it's not decided in the same day. So it takes some weeks or sometimes some months to get the new residence permit. In this time, when the old residence permit expired and until you get the new one, you get, in Germany, you get this Fiktionsbescheinigung. Yes, so the Fiktionsbescheinigung says you are legal. And this is something that in Ukraine might be similar, that in this time when the old residence permit expired until you get a new one, you are legal, you're not illegal in Ukraine. Yeah, and this is what here in Germany has to be respected. And if you are legal in Ukraine, you have the right to stay here legally until the 31st of August. Now with your actual Duldung, you can ask if you want to work, for example, you you can ask for a working permission, but you need some information about your from the company where you are going to work. There's a formula that you can get from the Ausländerbehörde, and you can ask there to get this formula, and the company has to fill it, and then you bring it back to the Ausländerbehörde, and then you are asked for a working permission. So this is the procedure with the Duldung, and then normally you will get the working permission. Yeah. And for example, if you want to study, you make the inscription at the university and say, then you go to the Ausländerbehörde and say, I want to study now, and then they give you the permission to study.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, what about those of us who came here with Schengen visa? I heard it's possible that you can extend it in the meantime. Is it possible? And also, with Ausländerbehörde, if you are going there for an appointment, is it only for one thing? Maybe I have a volunteer year for 1 year, but it's gonna start in September. So I wanted to do like, okay, I want to extend my Schengen visa for maybe up to September or for the next 3 months, and also, if possible, I can get the resident permit based on the volunteer year. So that's what I want to ask, if it's possible that way. And I have not applied for Article 24 or social benefits yet.
So up to now, you didn't apply anything at the Ausländerbehörde?
No, please, I'm not applied anything yet.
Okay, but as soon as you have the contract for the voluntary year, and it's clear that you start in September, you can apply for a residence permit for this freiwilliges soziales Jahr. And then the Ausländerbehörde has to give you a Fiktionsbescheinigung, and they can give you the residence permit even before you start with the freiwilliges soziales Jahr. So this is, normally there shouldn't be any problem. Yeah.
Okay, I understand now. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to give permission to Treasure. Please unmute and ask your question.
Hello, good evening. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Yes, good evening. I came to and I did not want to register, so I was supposed to register for Portugal, which I did the online application, and I got all my my social security number and everything online. But I wanted to stay in Germany for some days, so I told them at the camp that I would be going to Portugal, and I said I can stay, but they had to fill a form for me and all of that. I want to know, because I want to leave Germany soon. I want to know if I will have a problem according to like EU law or German well, if I want to leave now, because although I didn't get any form of document that says I registered here, but I did a registration, like a form, and my fingerprints were also taken. So, like what I want to ask. Thank you.
I didn't understand you completely. I understood you. You want to leave to Portugal, and because you can study in Portugal.
Can I quickly jump in? So she has a temporary permit in Portugal, and then she came into Germany. She filled the form when she got to Germany, and she put a fingerprint and some biometrics, and she wants to now go back to Portugal, and she wants to know if she would have a problem going back to Portugal.
Yeah, okay. No. If you still have your residence permit in Portugal, you can go there at any time. It's no problem. Yeah, and of course you need your passport, and you need the residence permit from Portugal, and then you can travel. You're free to travel in Europe with this Portuguese residence permit. But even if you don't have a residence permit in Portugal and you are registered here in Germany, there's normally no problem for you to travel to another country. As I said, the other countries, the other European countries will accept that you left Germany and came to them to another country, because they know that the countries that are most in the east get so many people from Ukraine, so they say we accept everybody who is coming. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. So the last question, Tim Shubi, please ask your question.
Okay, please, I would want to ask, I got admitted into an integration course for German language, which would make me be a student afterwards. They gave me a 6 months this thing. I was given 6 months to be able to study, but then they are asking me for the fictional certificates, which I wouldn't apply for because I don't qualify under the section 24, the article section 24. So I would want to know, is it possible to still go on with it? Because I already have, like, I didn't apply for it and I have a contract for my house. I'm registered under my house. I don't need social benefit or anything. I just want to know if I can continue studying the language course, because they require me to bring a fictional certificate, which I wouldn't be able to provide.
Okay. I didn't understand completely. Can you just?
I didn't particularly understand as well, okay. But I think what he's saying is that he is in a language school, yeah. And they require him to bring a kind of Fiktionsbescheinigung, yeah. I think, and he doesn't have the Fiktionsbescheinigung.
Okay.
And
yeah. Okay, so you don't have the Fiktionsbescheinigung, yeah?
Yeah.
And yes, because the right to visit the Integrationskurs is, you get this right if you have the residence permit, paragraph 24, or if you get the Fiktionsbescheinigung because you applied for paragraph 24. So this is, for example, in Hamburg, the advantage that Hamburg gives to the students of Ukraine the Fiktionsbescheinigung for 6 months. And they write in this Fiktionsbescheinigung that they applied for 24. Even if they declare, we don't want paragraph 24, we want to study. So this Fiktionsbescheinigung from Hamburg, for example, gives the right to make this Integrationskurs. You know? So I don't know, but you are registered already somewhere?
No, I'm not registered.
Yeah. So what you can do is if you have the possibility to go to Hamburg and live in Hamburg, then you come to Hamburg, and in Hamburg you apply for this Fiktionsbescheinigung as a student, and then you will have the right to visit the Integrationskurs in Hamburg. Yeah, because I don't know whether you can get this Fiktionsbescheinigung at the place where you are now. You know,
Okay.
you can ask for legal advice from people who are working in your place, whether they know whether you have a chance to get the Fiktionsbescheinigung there. You know? But in Hamburg, you will get it if you are not registered in already in another place. Because if you are already registered, you have to stay in your place where you are. No, you can't change. But if you are not registered, you have the chance to go to Hamburg.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. To everybody, I want to say that I am sorry I cannot take all of the questions, and I will give more information before we close today. So please just stay until the end. We close by 8. Just please stay until the end so that you listen and you hear what I'm about to say. So personally, and on behalf of the HAUG initiative, we want to say a very huge thank you to Mr. Bjorn. Thank you so much for the enlightening session. You've really dealt with a lot, and you've answered so many questions. And this has been educating. This has been super wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah. And we hope that we get to partner more in the future. And yes, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, and thank you also for you that I could give this information to you. And I think it's very important. You should be aware that, as I said in the beginning, everything is very new also for the German authorities. So it is central not to give up, to fight, because there's a good chance that in legal procedures you might get more rights than the Ausländerbehörde will give to you if you just go there once. Yeah. So don't give up, and perhaps in 1 or 2 months there will be a new situation, and perhaps if we repeat the meeting again, I can give you more detailed information about the actual situation. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. And please remember that this video will be uploaded on YouTube, and you can also visit our website. I think the link is somewhere in the chat. Yes. HAUGinitiative.com. You can visit the website to stay in tune with so many other info sessions that will come afterwards. And yes, thank you so much for attending. And before I say the final thing, I would like to welcome Mr. Awoni, President of the Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, Germany, and who is also the coordinator of this initiative, to give his closing remark.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Stein. It has been marvelous, and we have learned a lot from you, and I'm very sure all listeners have also had the same experience that I have. I hope that we are all now better informed, and the purpose of this meeting is to ensure that Africans from Ukraine who are presently in Germany are able to make informed decisions, based on their knowledge of what the situation is. We'll continue. It's a series. We'll still continue. Last week we did on studying. This week we did on what the law says, and you'll be hearing from us very soon. We're organizing also another event. Everything is about information, so that you can be well equipped to make well-informed decisions. Once again, thank you, Mr. Stein. I would like also to thank our moderator. Thank you for doing a marvelous job. I would like to thank Dr. Taiwo Pagbemikun, our partner in this project, who has been marvelous. We also thank Engineer Moses Kola Ogun, who has also been marvelous as our Chief Technical Officer. So thank you to everybody once again, and have a nice evening.
Thank you so much, sir. Please remember to stay in tune via our website to know what is going on, what is coming up next. And we'll like to say, you should have a wonderful night rest. And please, like Mr. Bjorn already said, keep fighting. Have a wonderful night rest and a beautiful week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.